If your child has a history of asthma, even if it is not current, we need to have this information completed should your child ever have an episode again. Make sure the top of this form is completely filled out with your student's information, name, date of birth, their grade, the parent's information with a home contact number or a cell phone number, and then 2 emergency contacts that know how to treat your child should they ever have an asthma attack. We need a doctor's name, the hospital information, the phone number, and the medical insurance information should your child ever need to be treated for an asthma attack. All of this information will need to be completed as it tells our staff how to proceed to care for your child before they're actually being treated by a medical physician to help them with the reactions that they may be having. Once you complete the form, go ahead and sign the form at the very bottom and date it. I'll give you a minute to review the information before we proceed. If your child has any medical conditions that prohibit them from participating in our meals, or they need any special meal accommodations, the form that you would be completing would be this form. It is the medical statement to request a special meal accommodation. It has to be completely filled out by a physician, so that way we know exactly what we can substitute without causing any harm to your child. On this form, the name of the participant will be completed here and the date of birth here. They also need to have the name of the parent or guardian and a contact phone number that they can reach you at if there's any questions. The physician's office will completely fill out this form here. They'll finish filling this out for you. Make sure that they completely fill out all the fields of information so that we know what your child can and cannot have and any substitutions that they may have. On this, make sure they completely fill out their portion when they're completing the form with any contact information, and that they also stamp the form when they're finished to ensure that it came from the doctor's office and is completely filled out according to what they are recommending. Go ahead and take a minute to look over the form, and then we'll go on to the next page. If your child has any medical conditions that require them to have any medication at school, these forms are going to be needed to be completed. This is the information that you are going to read over regarding the medication at school procedures. At the bottom of the form, you will write your child's first and last name. You will go ahead and sign off on the form, put the date that you're completing the form, and leave home phone number, work phone number, or cell phone, or all 3, so that we may contact you if there's any questions. Go ahead and take a minute to review the form before we go on to the second page of it. This is the second page of the medication at school request form. It has to be completed by the child's physician's office in order to ensure that the instructions are detailed with exactly how they should be given to your child. So your student's name must be at the top with your student's first and last name, their date of birth, and then the name of the medication must be listed. If there are multiple medications that need to be given to your child throughout the day while they are in our care, we require a form for each medication. They cannot be on the same form. They need to have the name of the medication, the dose of the medication, and then the reactions that need to be reported. If your child has the reaction to that, we have to report those immediately to the physician or yourself for their safety. The medication has an end date when it expires. That medication information has to be listed to ensure that we are not giving your child any expired medication. Make sure that the physician completely fills out their portion of the form, signing it, dating it, prints their information with their license information and their phone number in case there are questions if we cannot read the form or otherwise. Anything that is on here has to be completely filled out, and again, anything coming from the doctor's office has to have a stamp on it to ensure that it came from their office, they reviewed the information, and that they're authorizing us to administer it. Go ahead and take a minute to review the form before we proceed. If your child has history of epilepsy or seizures, this form is required to be completed in order to enroll your child into our program. This does not have to be completed by a physician. This is completed by the parent, and it tells us how we should be treating your child if they ever have an episode at the center. Please make sure that you complete this top portion of the form. The student's name, birth date, their grade, the parent's name, contact information will be next to that, as well as 2 emergency contacts. Should there ever be an episode that we need to contact you and we can't reach them, these will be the next people that we can follow up with that will know specifically how to administer or how to care for your child while they are having an episode. This information will have to be completed because this details exactly how to treat your child should they ever have an episode while they are in our care. Please make sure to review the information and fill it out completely before you sign off on the information at the bottom. Make sure after you're finished you sign and date it. I'll give you a minute to review the information, completely fill it out before we go on to the next page.